Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. I am Desiree Stafford, and today we are talking about how you can attract clients who can actually afford you. So all week, well, not all week, but for the last couple of days, I've been sharing with you, basically how to make more money in your business with a lot less effort, right? So we first started talking about really operating from your higher consciousness. When you fully stand in your power, that is when you will start making more money consistently, right? You'll stop tolerating the inconsistent cash flow and everything else related to that. That is not allowing you to have the financial life experience that you desire, right? Then yesterday we talked about how do you create higher end packages, right? Because the key to making more without working as hard is to obviously raise your fees, right? To make more money from fewer sales. So we talked about that yesterday. We went really deep on that yesterday. So check out that video if you missed it. So today we're going to be talking about, well, how do you now attract people who are going to be willing to invest in your premium fees, especially if you are already charging premium fees, for example, but you're not attracting many qualified leads. You're not attracting people who can actually afford to invest. So we're going to address that, because the deal is this, obviously if you are not calling in the right type of leads and you're constantly getting hit with, I can't afford it, I need to think about it, or whatever the case may be, people who get on your discovery sessions and the discovery session seems like it's going amazing, and then at the end they say, I'd love to, but, right? Or prospects who say yes to you on the phone, and then when it's time to actually sign the contract, they disappear, or even pay the deposit, right? Or people who tell you that they've got to speak with their husband, they got to speak with their wife, they have to speak with their dog, their angels, whomever, before they can actually decide to hire you. Or people who just simply like your content, can't afford you, so they say, and then they go and they hire your competitor, right? So if you're experiencing any of that stuff, obviously it's a frustrating position to be in. And if you don't resolve this issue, what's going to happen? You're going to waste more and more of your time with people who are not going to be willing to move forward, people who are unqualified. Sometimes they're not unqualified, right? So we'll talk about that more in a second. But essentially, this entire experience is going to continue to undermine your confidence, right? It's also going to mean that the clients that you were born to serve, remember we talked about it yesterday, the clients that you were born to serve are going to go and get inferior service from someone else. Because if you were born to serve them, right? Because your unique combination of gifts, skills, and talents can help them get the results faster and easier than they can get from anyone else. What does that mean? It means that if they do hire someone other than you, that service that they receive will be inferior, right? And you probably are sitting there, sometimes watching your peers post about their 30K, their 50K, their 100K months, and you are beyond frustrated because you know that you should be there by now, right? So listen, I get it if that's what you've experienced, because I was in that same spot not that long ago. And I know that you are someone who is very committed to your business, right? So you're not someone who's going to sit around and twiddle your thumbs, right? You're not someone who's going to be like, it's not working, and then just kind of like get stuck in that place. You're going to take action to try to figure it out. So what are you doing right now, right? You are probably live streaming, maybe a couple times a week. Maybe you are hosting dozens of webinars, but that's still not getting you the clients who are telling you yes on the phone. Maybe you're blogging your brains out. Maybe you poured thousands of dollars into Facebook ads, and yet still it's like you have your own fan club of people who can't afford it, right? I totally get that. And I understand where you are and how frustrating it can be. And I want you to know that the strategies that you're using, or the tactics, I should say, that you're using, the live streams, the webinars, all that stuff, they can work for you. Facebook ads can convert for you, right? However, it depends on how you are using those tools. Here's what I mean. What most people do is we've been taught, right? Many of us have been taught to be quote unquote content machines. I hate that term, but that's a lot of what you hear a lot of the gurus say, right? And so you are doing that. You're producing all of this content, right? Because you want to put all this value out into the marketplace. But if you don't do it the right way, all you're simply doing is positioning yourself, as I like to call it, a likable educator, meaning people will like your comment or like your post. They'll comment. They'll even love it, maybe share it a couple times, but at the end of the day, they're not hiring you, they're hiring someone else, right? Because they see you as just another, right? Your content is awesome. They see that you're an authority, like you know your stuff, but they don't see you as the authority that they have to work with. And there's a big difference, right? Between just being someone who has great content versus someone they actually feel like they have to work with no matter the price, right? That's important. And the way that you bridge that gap between just being the authority, just being someone that they know knows their stuff, and the person that they have to work with is by positioning, right? It's really the space that you occupy in the mind of your ideal clients. And if you do not have that, and that to me, that is the one strategy that supersedes any other marketing strategy you're trying to do, right? Positioning is the key. Because if you're not positioning yourself the right way, why should someone buy from you, right? Why should they? When there are so many other relationship coaches, there are so many other health coaches, there are so many other intuitives, there are so many other healers, there are so many other business coaches out there. Why you, right? Why you? And if your marketing is not positioning you in the right way, your prospects are not going to be able to answer that question for themselves, right? Because you have to realize, again, there are so many people out there in the marketplace who are doing what you're doing, gurus and other coaches and other mentors, right? And they're all competing for the attention of your ideal clients, okay? And you want to make sure that your people, the people you were born to serve, see you as the person for them, right? As the person for them. And so what that means is that you can't just continue to put all of this content out there, right? Because all you're going to do is continue to contribute to the noise, right? And you're going to burn yourself out. So there has to be a different way that you put your content out there. You want to make sure that every marketing piece that you put into the world, any message that you put out is always positioning you as the coach or mentor for your ideal clients. Not for everybody, but for the people you were born to serve. Right? So this way, you do not have to worry about competing with anybody else, right? There is no competition for you, right? Let everybody else compete amongst themselves. But when you are clear as to why your people need you versus anyone else, you do not compete. You're not even fazed by what anyone else is saying in the marketplace, right? That is the confidence and that is the conviction that needs to come through in all of your marketing so that your clients, your ideal clients, see that, they get that, right? They're not going to compare. So when you get this right, when you get the position, and I call it powerhouse positioning, when you get this right, it doesn't matter whether you decide to do live streams, it doesn't matter whether or not you decide to do webinars, it doesn't matter if you decide to do written posts, they will all convert for you, all right? And I share that with you because so many people, focus on one specific tool. They say, oh my God, you have to do live streams if you want to attract clients consistently. No, you don't, right? Or they'll say you have to do webinars. That is the only tool to get you to convert consistently. No, that's not true. Same thing with posts. You don't have to be posting 3 to 5 times a day, right? You don't have to do any of those things. Do you have to do something? Absolutely. You have to take action, right? But you don't have to be pulling your hair out trying to figure out like how many, planning out 5 live streams in a week or planning out 3 to 5 posts in a day or planning a new webinar every single week, right? You don't have to do that, okay? And I will tell you, my marketing I would say it actually takes less than 60 minutes. I just said 60 minutes, I think, on the title, but it's really less than 60 minutes for me. And I'll actually share with you what my schedule looks like, because it's unbelievable to me, okay? It's like night and day from when I first started. What my schedule looks like is typically I'll post in the morning, usually between 8 and 9. Usually it's just 1 post a day that I'm doing. And it's a message that comes to me, a message that I feel needs to be heard. So it's not planned out in advance, but I know my ideal client so well and I understand what's on their mind and what they're thinking that it's very easy for me to post something usually once in the day, like once in the morning, right? And then by 9:30, I'm in kickboxing class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? And then I come home and I walk my dog and I get ready for the day and I have lunch and I literally do not start working until usually 1:30, and I work between 1:30 and 4:30, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are my coaching days, okay? That's how I run my business. So my marketing is in that morning time between 8 and 9 typically, right? Today I'm doing something different. Today I'm doing a live stream just because this is the way that I felt like communicating this time. And I'm telling you this because I'm not beholden to one particular tool. I'm not beholden to, if I don't do a live stream, I'm not going to get clients. Or if I don't do a webinar, I'm not going to get clients. If I don't write I don't think like that. And recently I just did $70,000 in 3 days with the same really lax kind of, as the inspiration comes to me attitude about my marketing. This week I did 50K in 24 hours with the same kind of, relaxed marketing strategy that I'm using, or plan, if you want to call it that. So I'm telling you this so that you understand that you do not have to work so fucking hard. And that's probably why you're actually not getting the results that you want, because you're overthinking everything. And I get why you do it, because it's been drilled into you, right? People make you think that you have to work so friggin' hard in order to attract clients, but you really don't. When you know who your ideal clients are and your message is speaking directly to them, and you're answering questions in your marketing for them, answering questions like why you, right? When you're putting out content that clearly helps them see why you versus anyone else, right? That's literally how you can replace 5 posts or 3 to 5 posts in a day with 1 post in a day, right? Or 5 live streams a week with 1 20-minute live stream, right? When you're answering questions like, why now? When you know how to trigger the desire in your ideal clients through your marketing, right? And you know how to really reach them, not just teach them, not just put valuable content out there, to give them information, but when you actually reach them through your content, right? When you know how to do that and trigger trigger the desire within them to take action now, right? This is when your marketing will actually convert for you. And one of the things I really want you to be aware of is your clients are in pain, obviously. They've likely been in pain for months, if not years, right? And that means that they have tried to solve their problem before, probably more than once. And they're still in pain because guess what? Those previous solutions didn't do the job, right? So you have to understand that when you're doing your marketing, and you have to speak to the things that they need to hear and understand so that you can trigger the desire within them to take action now, right? To get over their fear of it not working out again, to get over their sense of apathy and actually, feel inspired to reach out to you to make a change, right? This is important stuff, because if you're not getting this and you're just putting out content, you're just making noise, right? Just like everybody else, you're just making noise, okay? You also want to make sure that your marketing is handling their objections before they get on the phone with you, right? You have to be able to understand what is it that your prospects need to believe about themselves? What is it that they need to believe about your offer, your solution, how you do your work? What is it that they need to believe about you in order for them to move, again, past their fears and make a commitment, right? Because when someone gets on the phone with you, when they're in a discovery session, a breakthrough session, whatever you call it, I forget some of the other names that we have for basically a sales call, right? When they're on the phone with you, you want them getting on the phone pre-sold. All of my marketing pre-sells me. There's no reason for me to get on the phone with someone who's not already pre-sold on working with me. What would be the point, right? The same thing with you. What would be the point of getting on the phone with someone and then they're not pre-sold, and then you have to drag them into your program, or you have to convince them to hire you? It doesn't feel good to you to do that, number one. It also is not good for your client, right? You want your clients selling themselves into the program, because that's when they become more committed, right? This week, both of my clients literally sold themselves into the, very interesting. I had clients reach out to me. I did a webinar, which is where the clients came from. And they broke the rules. They did the opposite of what I said to do. And it was so awesome, because I do like rule breakers. It was so awesome that we got on the phone and they enrolled and became clients, right? So it's important that your marketing is doing that heavy lifting for you so that people know that they want to work with you, right? There's only one of you, by the way, and there's thousands of people that you can help, right? So you have to have that knowing when you're on a sales conversation with someone. And then you really want people who are ready, right? You don't want people, everyone's going to have some fear. Let's not get that twisted. Everyone's going to have some fear, but you want people who are willing to move beyond their fear. Do you have to play a role in that? Yeah, right? Even when somebody really wants something, there's still going to be a little bit of fear coming up. But if your marketing has done the primary job that it's supposed to do, getting them primed and ready and pumped, right? By the time they get to the conversation, their fear will be, it won't be as, how do I say this? It won't be as massive or scary, maybe, is what I'm trying to say. They'll feel more excitement than fear is really what I'm trying to say when they have the sales conversation with you. And so it's a very easy transition from the diagnosis that you do in your sales conversation to the part where people say, yeah, let's just do this, right? And again, you want that because when a client is coming to you or stepping into your program from that place, they feel much more empowered. And that means when you're working with them, they're going to hit the ground running and they're going to be able to get results faster, bigger results than they probably even expected, right? So all of this is important when you're putting your marketing out there, right? All of this is important. And I would say focus on this kind of stuff more than focusing on sitting out and planning out like creating a content calendar. Why? Like, why do you even need to do that, right? There's only a couple of things that are like top of mind issues for your clients, right? You know what those things are already. So just, speak to them from different angles. That's all you got to do. But your messaging should be pretty consistent so that clients totally get what you do, right? So it shouldn't require you to spend weeks, planning out like a content calendar, right? And then, listen, I'm not telling you not to do that if that's how you desire to do it. I don't do it that way, right? And I'm telling you, you don't have to do it that way, okay? All right, so anyway, does anyone have any questions for me right now? Because I feel like I'm going off on all these tangents. Hey, Carol. Hey, Monique. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Raina. How are you? Ozil, tell me what you mean. You said, please share some tools too. Your topic is amazing. I don't know what type of tools you're asking for. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, it makes sense, right, Raina? Oh, awesome. Hey, Cookie. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Daitia? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't pronounce that wrong. Awesome. All right. So does anyone have any questions about what I've shared so far? Because this is really powerful stuff that's going to help you get results much faster, right? Much, much faster. When you are positioned the right way, your marketing will actually deliver results for you consistently. That fear, that anxiety about where your next sale is going to come from, all the fears that you have by the time they even get on the sales conversation, that goes away, okay? Because your marketing is actually doing its job. It's doing the heavy lifting for you. It's doing the pre-selling for you, right? And when you get this right, listen, you don't have to waste so much time speaking with unqualified prospects, people who are not ready to move forward, because the more time you spend doing that, the more you doubt yourself, right? And that negatively impacts your ability to sell to the people you were born to serve, right? So it's important that you understand how to have your marketing, or basically how to teach your marketing to serve you so that you are not feeling enslaved by your marketing. I can't tell you how many people come to me because they're at a stage in their business where it feels like their business is running them, where they feel like they're constantly trying to create all this content when what they really want to be doing is serving their clients. And what I'm sharing with you today is what is going to allow you to do that, right? It's going to allow you to do that. It's going to allow you basically to have a life outside of your business. Cool? All right. So if no one has any questions, I'm going to wrap this up because, it's the end of the week. We want to go out and play, right? So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. If you want some support around how you can learn how to position yourself and how to have your marketing actually serve you, reach out to me at DesireeStafford.com/session for us to set up a chat. All right. And until we speak again, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.